The summons arrived on a Thursday afternoon, delivered to my dental practice between patients. My receptionist, Maria, handed it to me with raised eyebrows. "Dr. Martinez, this just came for you. It looks official." I was being sued by my sister for $36,000 per year in emotional damages because my success was causing her severe psychological distress and loss of life opportunities. I read it twice. Sure, I was misunderstanding. But no, there it was in black and white. Natalie Martinez was suing me, Diana Martinez, for being too successful. I called my husband Marcus during lunch. "You're not going to believe this. Your sister finally lost it. She's suing me for emotional damage because I'm a dentist and she's not." Silence. "Then, please tell me you're joking." "I'm holding the papers right now. She wants $3,000 a month because my success makes her feel bad about herself. That can't be legal." According to this, she's claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress, unjust enrichment, and, this is my favorite, systemic familial oppression. What does that even mean? I think it means I oppressed her by going to dental school while she dropped out of community college to follow her boyfriend's band. The lawsuit was vintage Natalie. For 32 years, everything had been someone else's fault. Failed her classes? The teachers were against her. Lost her job? Her boss was jealous. Boyfriend left? He couldn't handle her success. Now, apparently, her lack of career was my fault too. The court date was set for 6 weeks out. I hired a lawyer, not because I was worried, but because I wanted this shut down properly. Shannon Reeves came highly recommended and barely kept a straight face reading the complaint. "In 20 years of practice, this is a first," she said. "Your sister is claiming you deliberately became successful to make her look bad? That's the gist of it. And she wants monthly payments for this emotional damage. Apparently, my existence is traumatic." Shannon pulled up her laptop. Let's look at her social media. Plaintiffs claiming emotional distress usually tank their own cases online. She was right. Natalie's Instagram was a goldmine of contradictions. Posts about her blessed life, expensive vacations funded by whatever boyfriend she had that month, designer bags, spa days. And scattered between them, rants about toxic family members who flaunt their privilege. "This one's from last week," Shannon noted. "Some people think they're better than everyone because they have degrees. Meanwhile, I'm living my best life without student loans. #blessed, #university off life. That's about me. I paid off my loans last year." And this one. "Money doesn't buy happiness. It just buys fake smiles and empty souls. Looking at you, sis." Charming. But here she is at a resort in Cabo 2 days later. How does someone claiming poverty afford that? Her boyfriend of the month, probably. She has a type. Older, wealthy, and easily manipulated. Shannon screenshotted everything. This is perfect. She's documenting her own good life while claiming damages. Any idea what triggered the lawsuit? I knew exactly what triggered it. Last month was our cousin Maria's wedding. Natalie brought her new boyfriend, a plastic surgeon, and spent the whole night trying to impress his colleagues. Until they found out I was there. And they knew me. I've referred patients to most of the plastic surgeons in the city. They spent the reception talking to me about cases, asking my opinion on dental aesthetics. Natalie's boyfriend realized I wasn't just some dentist, but the dentist who owns 3 practices. Let me guess. He was less interested in her after that. He broke up with her the next week. Apparently, he wasn't ready for a relationship. But Maria told me he said Natalie spent the entire ride home raging about how I'd humiliated her on purpose. Shannon shook her head. "So she's suing you because her boyfriend liked you better?" "She's suing me because she's never taken responsibility for a single thing in her life." The weeks before the trial were exhausting. Natalie called our parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, anyone who would listen, playing the victim. She claimed I'd sabotaged her throughout our lives. That I'd stolen opportunities from her. That my success was built on her suffering. My mother called, torn between daughters. "Diana, couldn't you just give her something? To keep the peace." "Mom, she's suing me because I have a job. If I give her money now, what's next? A monthly payment because I'm married and she's single? She's struggling. She's 32. At some point, struggling becomes a choice.
My father was more direct.
This is ridiculous. You worked nights to pay for school while Natalie partied. Now she wants your money? Absolutely not. But the family pressure was real. Aunts suggested I should help my less fortunate sister. Cousins whispered about how some people have all the luck. The narrative was forming. Successful sister refuses to share with struggling sibling. I started keeping receipts of my own. Every birthday present I'd given Natalie. Usually cash because she always needed it. Every loan I'd forgotten to collect. The apartment deposit I'd covered when she was 25. The car insurance I'd paid for 2 years. The dental work I'd done for free. Total over 10 years. $47,000. Shannon whistled when she saw the spreadsheet. You've already been paying her. Just not officially. And it was never enough. Nothing is ever enough for Natalie. The day of the trial arrived, gray and drizzly, matching my mood. I wore my most conservative suit, trying to look successful, but not flashy. Natalie showed up in what looked like a cocktail dress, sobbing dramatically into a handkerchief. The courtroom was smaller than I'd expected. Judge Helen Cooper presided, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s who looked like she'd seen everything. Natalie's lawyer, a young man who seemed to be questioning his life choices, presented their case first. The gist: I had systematically outperformed my sister, causing her severe emotional distress. My success was a constant reminder of her failures, and I should compensate her for this pain. My client has suffered watching her sister achieve everything she couldn't, he said, remarkably straight-faced. The defendant's success is a daily source of trauma. Judge Cooper's eyebrows climbed toward her hairline, but she said nothing. They presented evidence. Photos of my house versus Natalie's apartment. My vacation photos versus her staycations. My wedding at a nice venue versus her string of failed relationships. The disparity is clear, the lawyer concluded. The defendant lives a life of luxury while my client struggles. This inequity has caused measurable psychological harm. When it was our turn, Shannon stood slowly. Your Honor, I hardly know where to begin. The plaintiff is essentially arguing that success is a tort, that achievement is actionable, that my client should be punished for going to school, working hard, and building a career. The emotional damage is real. Natalie burst out. She makes me feel worthless. Miss Martinez, Judge Cooper said sharply, you'll have your chance to speak. Shannon continued, methodically destroying their case. She showed Natalie's social media posts bragging about her lifestyle, bank records showing regular deposits from various boyfriends, the spreadsheet of money I'd already given her. Far from causing harm, Dr. Martinez has financially supported her sister for over a decade, Shannon said. The only thing she's guilty of is enabling the plaintiff's refusal to take responsibility for her own choices. Then came the character witnesses. My former employee testified that Natalie had asked her to steal from my practice. My cousin revealed that Natalie had tried to seduce her husband, claiming I'd stolen the life she deserved. My mother reluctantly admitted that Natalie had been fired from 6 jobs for various schemes and blamed me each time. Finally, it was my turn to testify. I kept it simple, factual. How I'd worked 3 jobs during college. The years of studying while Natalie partied. The risk of opening my own practice. The 60-hour weeks building my business. Did you ever prevent your sister from pursuing education or career opportunities? Shannon asked.
No.
I offered to pay for her to go back to school multiple times. She refused. Did you ever sabotage her employment?
No.
I actually got her jobs at 3 different dental offices. She was fired from all of them. Why?
Theft.
Inappropriate behavior with patients, and chronic absence. Natalie's lawyer tried to cross-examine. Isn't it true you've always been jealous of your sister's free spirit?
No.
That you resented her popularity in high school?
No.
That you deliberately chose a career you knew she couldn't pursue? I almost laughed. I chose dentistry because I wanted to help people and make a good living. Natalie's life choices didn't factor into my career decisions. But you knew she struggled with science. She struggled with attendance. Hard to pass chemistry when you skip class to follow a band to Coachella. Judge Cooper had heard enough. But before ruling, she turned to Natalie. "Ms. Martinez," she said, her voice deceptively mild. "I have one question for you." Natalie perked up, probably thinking this was her chance to sway the judge. "What have you done to improve your own situation?" The courtroom went silent. Natalie's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I've tried, but Diana." "No," Judge Cooper interrupted. "What have you done? Not what your sister has done or hasn't done. What steps have you taken to educate yourself? To build a career? To become financially independent?" "It's not that simple," Natalie wailed. "She had advantages. She's smarter. She's prettier. She got all the luck." "I see," Judge Cooper said. "And in 32 years, you've never found a single opportunity that wasn't somehow stolen by your sister?" "She makes me feel." "Your feelings are not your sister's responsibility," Judge Cooper said firmly. "Your choices are. You're asking this court to order your sister to pay you for being successful. Do you understand how absurd that is? But the emotional damage. The only emotional damage I see here is self-inflicted. You've spent so much time resenting your sister's success that you've forgotten to build your own." Natalie burst into tears. Real ones this time. "What have you done?" And the answer, as always with Natalie, was nothing. That's the real reason she ran from that courtroom crying. Not because she lost the case, but because for one moment, she couldn't run from the truth. The only person responsible for Natalie's life is Natalie. And apparently, that's the most emotionally damaging truth of all.